Man, this is part two on an episode of Social Utopia, where your boy, a new player came into the field called Scott Galloway. He wants things to go back to when Scott Galloway, the man who wants men to go back to being slaves for women and society. And you see in all his interviews, he says pretty much the same thing. Like he's rehearsing all of this stuff in his interviews. And you know how bad it is when you're getting interviews with big names like Piers Morgan and Oprah. Mind you, Oprah. This is the same Oprah who tried to take money from people back in a few years ago when Hawaii shit happens. When she's a billionaire. This is the same Oprah who schools in Africa had all types of crazy shit going on over there, and she hid that shit. This is the same Oprah who isn't married at all. No one asks her why she's not getting married, but she want to talk about men's chaos.
This is only anecdotal evidence. When I go out and I'm in social situations, I'll have women approach me and say, I'm here, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. I look amazing.
Don't that sound familiar? He said this a month ago on another interview. So he's rehearsing the same shit. This is how I know he's fake and he's not organic. The reason why people like Fresh and Fit and the people like Red Pill guys is because most of the guys are not rehearsed. They might say the same shit, but they get these women. They don't talk. A lot of these dudes, and I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna tell you this for real, like really, reality. They don't get these so-called single women on any platform and ask them why they single, because they get ripped apart online. A lot of these women who have all these requirements, right? They don't want to take the risk of going to another country and getting with successful men in another country, because they will fall, because all the things they want, they're not ready for the guys who are very successful. They just want to come the way they are.
And a man hasn't approached me in 3 months.
See? He said the same shit in a previous video. So, hey man, he's full of shit. He's saying the same shit he said a month ago in another interview with a different interviewer. So why is a successful older gentleman coming out here trying to tell men what to do? Oh yeah, because a lot of people are losing money because men are not participating. We're going to movies less because the movie industry and the restaurant industry depend on men going out taking women out. Women go out to specific environments and they buy specific things. Let me expose a little things for you. There's businesses that are created for just relationships, and there's businesses that created for just milking women, and there's businesses created for men. Don't get it confused. There's like, what was it, a few weeks ago? Well, last summer or something, a few weeks ago. I think, yeah, a few weeks ago, I had to order a new laptop, which the keypad is not really that great. So I got to get used to doing that one, doing the mouse and everything. But my current computer has rattling going on. The fan's rattling. I took it apart. Cleaned the fan. It's still rattling. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm probably going to send it to professional and have them upgrade shit or whatever. I unplugged everything delicately, and the fan's still rattling. I put in a new SSD, and it messed up. I had to restart it, refresh it, and my programs are pretty much gone. I lost so much data because of me having to formulate some of my things and stuff. I lost a lot of my bookmarks. And because Google, I don't know what the hell's going on with the Google bookmark when you sync shit, but you lose half of your other shit, right? In my other hard drive, in my old hard drive, my bookmarks are in that hard drive, right? But it doesn't update itself to my new one. So that's a whole big thing. I lost a lot of my bookmarks. I lost the default setting on my video players. And a lot of shit happened. This is when you do it by yourself, right? It took almost 2 days to clone my old hard drive to my SSD. Something went wrong. And like I said, I had to reformulate it, right? And I found out I had to, buy a plug. But the laptop was used, but it was real old. It's like 4 years old. And nothing wrong with the laptop at all. It runs well. It has the updated current Windows, right? I did everything, right? Now I need to get used to controlling it, right? Or basically see how long it goes before if something goes wrong. So I have to use it for like I'm gonna have to try to use it for like a week next to my normal laptop and then see how it performs, because I know it's not going to be as fast as the SSD one, and I'm gonna have to buy an SSD for that one. See, this complex stuff, right? Complex things that men get into, right? Women don't do this. They do cheat stuff. They pay people to fix stuff. There's a few women who take apart cars, laptops, take apart appliances. They pay people to do it. Women spend more money telling others to do stuff for them than to do it themselves. They benefit off of self-glorification. Self-glorification in women is astronomical. You give them $1 million, they'll spend that $1 million in a year. You give a man $1 million, he will only spend about $50,000 in that whole year, if he's single. And you'll see a lot of upgrades in his life, but you won't see that $1 million be spent fast. If women is not involved in his life, he won't spend that much money. All right. So guys like Galloway is never going to expose that there's different lanes that women and men do. Single men have more money than single women, because single women will always think that they can upgrade something, self-aggrandizing. Remember that what's her name? That beauty pageant that jumped off that roof? She had everything. She was a lawyer and she was a social media person, but she was lonely as shit by herself. She chased everybody away, and she put herself in a whole nother level, just like all these other women. Scott Galloway is not going to talk about all of the women who are successful and they're all taking prescription medication for depression, anxiety, and all types of shit. And the single men, there's variations of it, but most of us are not on prescription medications.
Turning now to an issue our next guest.
Shootings are men, young men.
So they want to talk about the mass shootings, right? So I always said this before, and this is the thing about when they keep talking about incels and lonely men, because your boy Mr. Fantastic said is sexless men end up shooting places up. Okay, there's more men out here having less sex than it is women having sex, right? Even the most unattractive women are out here having sex, right? By the same dudes that all the women like, right? If there were so many mass shootings, then it should be over 1,000 a month. And it's not. So that tells you that these people are fucking lying and they're making shit up. Because in war-torn countries, there's more terroristic attacks in some of these countries than it is mass shootings in America. And that's an epidemic. They have the numbers to show it and the violence to show it.
Hello, I'm Matt Galloway, and this is
Dangerous does not solve or address the problem.
Now, this is a year ago. This is a year ago. This is a year ago.
The dialogue's been very civil. And I would say that the thing that I really enjoy is
Now, this is a year ago. This is 2024, right? And I'm going to break it down.
In Brawl Stars, you can throw a cactus at someone's.
I want to settle this hypergamy debate permanently. The manosphere thinks that young men are struggling because women engage in hypergamy, that we're...
Oh yeah, and also this woman actually destroyed her own point in the comment sections. Basically in the comment sections, she agreed with somebody in the comment section, I think. Let me show you. So she tried to go to the point of saying that women are not going to hypergamy, they're just going to people who are in the same category they are, which is right? But she don't talk about the fact is that if a guy is at a lower tier in his field, right? Say you have a doctor, and I'm gonna give it a B, C doctor, right? If a woman marries a C doctor, she's going to be embarrassed because she's married to the C doctor. She's going to want to jump to the A doctor. So that A doctor is going to show interest in her, and she's going to dump the C doctor for the A doctor. That's what it is. That's what hypergamy is. So let's see. Right? People exposing him that he has no degrees or anything else like that. But remember, everybody was trying to point all these other people. I'm trying to find that comment, guys. Sorry. Okay, here we go. When he stated making more money than the husband, which is what's blah, blah, blah. I pay most of the bills. I generally have issues with it. He blah, blah, blah. My ex stayed at home when I was at work and made what he made. I was shocked by how angry he became. They always want that feeling of superiority no matter what. My ex-fiance said all the problems he created was out of jealousy. I wouldn't recommend dating down intellectually as well as financially. Sadly, this is very common. I never made more money than my ex-husband, and still when my career started getting going, he wasn't happy in the career. So a lot of these women try to marry guys that they feel better than, right? Because you're never in these people's minds, they think everybody is equal. They don't believe that there's people out here that will always be better than you. And there's people that always will. There's no equal in everything, right? Physical, mental, financial, none of that, right? What happened to me? Get away, blah, blah, blah. Your ex is a fool. Couples have income made a joint account in which both parties pay exactly 50-50 to cover all marriage's expenses. Then both individuals keep the rest of their money for themselves in a separate account. What is it? Women just need to quit all this nonsense. Focus and pour ourselves and don't worry or cost grifters. Well, these deep in the 4B movement are, however, we still need to expose these grifters. Well, we all being alone. That's the part of women don't know about us. Men don't care what women are doing. This is why Scott Galloway waving his fingers at us. Men ain't lonely. We just want solo movers. We don't want other people to survive. We don't need other people to survive and happy. We happy to die when its time comes. Basically, yeah. And nobody said anything. If Scott reaches a certain demographic, he will message he can consume. Blah, blah, blah. Women marry up because of kids. Oh, here we go. Women marry up because of children. If you're going to have children who take up all your time and energy, why would destroy your willpower? Someone else is going to have to pay the bills. Child free is the way to go, ladies. Society can be equal as the day come, but nature will always be childbearing, and breastfeeding and attachment bonding is on us. Baby mom, baby. Those show the hypergamy exists to biological needs, so she will maximize your access to your resources. Your whole is funny. You bring up the art of sentiment, but the family dynamics as so to blame men. Women are on Snap with several children and baby dads. Patriarchy made men a thankless job. So, and let me expose her, by the way. So, let me show you what she's all about. Right? Otis. She came on her channel is, let's see, her channel is, she had a channel ever since 2012. Now, her channel's been on here ever since 2012. She has only videos from 2 years ago. So mind you, she's a divorced woman who hates men. All her videos against men. Patriarchy. Traditionalism. This is her. Hating men. The cost of beauty. Right? When she's not even beautiful. Let's see.
Excuse me, Miss Retta, how do I treat yourself?
Well, you could mix and match medium specialty pizzas for $9.99.
It's like 23, and then that one's like 27.
I don't know this creator. I'm not familiar with her content, but I wanted to stitch this video to talk a bit about the costs of being a woman. This is a young woman. I think she's married to the guy. And
see, and this is the thing that I'm saying right here. This same piece of shit trash female will talk about men this, men that, men bad, men. And then she will make a video like this 2 years prior, and then talk about the cost of beauty. This is what happens when you get with chicks, right? They want you to pay for their looks because you're with them now.
Question. They've been married 5 or 6 years, and he's taking her to the store. It's an Ulta. I know this because I've spent a lot of time.
Now, mind you, she talks about the 4B movement. Now, the 4B movement hasn't really been successful in Korea. But you got these women who's jumped on a concept that's been a thing for a long time.
in Ultas and Sephora's over the course of my life. She takes him to an Ulta, and apparently he's never been to the Ulta, and he's just now getting a sense of what makeup costs. Now, you're all familiar with at least my followers, you're all familiar with like the pink tax, so things like shaving razors and haircuts, and that are basically the same service or the same product, but there's a huge, upcharge because they're pink and they're made for women. But people rarely talk about the cost of makeup and skincare products.
But you guys are not ugly. I mean, you guys are not beautiful. Why wear makeup when you're not beautiful? Let's be real. She's not beautiful. She's not. And she's on here hating men. She has weave in her hair because last year her hair was short. So 9 times out of 10 her hair is not long. Right? Let's see what she says.
That we have to have flawless skin, look flawless all the time, that it's considered unprofessional for us to have just regular looking skin. I mean, even now talking about this, I'm wearing makeup and I'm using a goddamn filter because the expectation for content creators online
But how is it men's fault that you have expectations for each other? Most of you are now around each other. So why are you using filters and makeup when you don't care about what men think? You see how stupid these motherfuckers make themselves sound?
Work in an office, doesn't matter where you work, you're expected to have perfect or near perfect flawless skin. Last year, I took a good hard look at my finances, and I realized during the pandemic, because I was super insecure because of all the Zoom calls and all the, video, seeing my face on digital high quality video, like on this goddamn iPhone, which is the best, most high quality pixeled camera that a regular person can get. I spent literally thousands of dollars on makeup and skin.
Thousands of dollars on makeup and skin products. And Scott Galloway wants you to start dating these women who alone, their budget and money making is them doing shit where it doesn't make them look better than they do. Makeup don't make you look 100% better. It don't add anything to you because when you take it off, you're a completely different person.
That was also the year that I finally got rid of my acne and most of my scarring. I was in a course of Accutane for almost 2 years. Ironically, the Accutane was actually free. My insurance covered that. But all the post-acne skincare products, things to fade the scarring and, take care of my skin and make sure that the acne didn't come back, and the makeup to cover the scar.
So your boy Scott wants men to be just like women, to care about grooming. Right, to spend thousands of dollars. I told y'all before that you can do the basic shit, but you shouldn't overdo the shit at all. You shouldn't do it. I have a bunch of shavers and shit like that, grooming products to keep my hair around or whatever, but I don't really like when it gets too out of control. I shave it down and whatever. But I'm not spending thousands of dollars for grooming when I'm not getting anything out of it. This is why I got a trade or, going to get into a new trade. You don't have to wear groom products when you're in a trade at all. You just have to wear your uniform.
And all that stuff costs so much money. Makeup that doesn't make you break out, that blends properly, finding a foundation that matches not just the color of your skin, but the undertones of your skin. Sometimes the only foundations that you can find are things like Estee Lauder.
Now, mind you, she doesn't have a lot of followers. Well, her when she's talking down the men, there's a lot of content creators like her too, right? They man-hating channels who are mad because they can't get a guy to do what they want to say. They're worse than the manosphere. They're worse than Red Pill, but nobody talks about them because women can say whatever they want.
Or Chanel or Dior. And these foundations, these products cost so much money. But not every line has enough colors when you're a woman of color that have the proper undertones for your skin. So it is not unusual for a professional woman to spend probably over the course of her life hundreds.
So you guys making it harder for yourselves. Didn't I just say in my previous video that women spend more money than men over they spend more money than men. Then I say, so wait, we bragging about women being in college, we brag about women making more money than men, but they spend more money than men. This is the reason why they need men to take them out on dates and waste their time with them, right? So they don't be able to spend it on dates and stuff.
Scott Galloway, if you guys don't remember, is that white man who's going around talking about like saving men. He's trying to be the new Jordan Peterson. I dislike his work. I think it's incredibly reductive, and I think it is lacking like intersectionality so deeply. And though he tries very hard to admit that women have been oppressed over all of these.
Now, mind you, this chick right here, Abba used to hang out with her, right? Abba used to hang out with her. And she used to have a boyfriend, and she had an OnlyFans. Now she's a quote unquote, what she says? She's gay now. Isn't this funny that this chick had a boyfriend and now she's gay? Let's see.
This went viral this last week. If you guys didn't see, DoorDash girl claims essay. This is a case in which internet trolls have used AI to mess with everyone's heads. 2 are confusing language. And 3, the amount of misogyny lashed out at this girl for something that was so obviously not her fault, even though she wasn't perfect in the situation.
So now, this is why I say that people like her, they mentally ill. This is why the DoorDash girl is going to jail. I hate going down this road with some of these content creators because they're some of the worst people that I've seen ever. Brittany, what's it again? Brittany, Abba and Brittany. Okay, let me get it down. Let me break it down. Here we go. Where's she at? Here we go, right here. So, this is your boy Abba talking about the lonely men epidemic. Now, mind you, he used to hang out with her. This is 3 years ago, by the way. He don't hang out with that side no more because a lot of them turn out to be crazy and they turn on each other, right? So here we go.
Uber Eats is bringing you savings on your favorite game day snacks. Like right now, score 40% off grocery orders at Aldi for 40% more chipping and dipping.
Ask or no to keep
extent, but
and Doc's Tree's number. Live on air, my phone was ringing.
See, and I love this shit. I told you in one of my videos, I say you have to let them eat each other alive. This is why I stopped making videos a lot of this times, right? Because when they don't have an enemy, and I'm probably gonna make an update video, when they don't have an enemy to go towards, you have to let them eat each other alive. Stop making yourself a target and start disappearing. And it's time for us to stop telling them where we're going. And I think a lot of things need to go underground, and we need to start vetting shit, right? We need to go to places that these people despise and they can't survive in. It's like me saying, This is the thing, right? If I could survive in 10, if I could survive in a planet that has 10 times the gravity, and only a few of us can go to that planet, but it's like a utopia there, then I'm going to tell you that if you can survive that planet, go to that planet. There's no way that that planet will ever be invaded with the wrong people, because they can't survive it. My point is that you have to go to places that these people can't survive in. A different language, different cultural selection, different respect requirements. If you go to these places and you go to these hubs, they can never enter. It's kind of like a vampire and vampire stories where you have to invite somebody in your house in order for them to jump that threshold. You have to bring up things. Shout out to SYSBM. SYSBM couldn't been used. So many people try to use SYSBM. I was a promoter of SYSBM. I even told people that SYSBM is a better option and choice. And I said before, even today, I'm not even SYSBM. I respect the mindset. I don't even think that I'm not considered SYSBM. I'm not in the group. I'm not that. But I will promote the shit out of you, because the fact is, just because I can't get into that group, I would never hate on a group that I can't get into. But I would tell you that, guess what? SYSBM is the better group, the better solution to men's situations. Guess what? SYSBM has been sitting pretty for so many years. It kicked the right people out, and it stayed away from all the drama. And it weathered the storm. There was people that was just talking about SYSBM, and guess what? They all failed and falled. The red pill got all the figures, but when you have rules and regulations that you have to maintain in a group, or even in a type of mental, in a movement and an ideology, and you have to have a rules set of rules that you have to follow.
Battery level is 45%.
That you have to practice. Some people don't like that. They can't survive in a rule-based environment. You have to go to places that have unwritten rules and have written rules at the same time. These people can't survive that. And I think that is the bigger solution for certain men to get out of certain situations, is that you make rules in your life, and if nobody can follow the rules, you get kicked them out your life.
Off the hook, I had to turn my phone off. And I said, oh, you want to leak DMs? You want to leak text messages? I'm sorry. You do understand I'm the one you told that you was going to get an abortion, right? But see, this is what I'm saying. The race and IQ stuff is stupid. It don't work. Nah, that's out of date. Because they said the Asians supposed to have higher IQs, and here it is. She didn't even think, like, maybe I know throw her under bus because she know I have Boston. That's why she said if I go to put out rules that I should,
Mind you, they turned against each other. T 411 is a manosphere hater, and Abba and Preach, but a lot of them turned on each other, and people don't talk about that. Remember, Destiny was supposed to be the red pill killer a few years ago. All of this is coming back to your boy Scott Galloway, by the way, but this is all in between. This is all a history lesson right here. This is all an update as well, because it's a big video, right? All these people who used to talk down to the manosphere, passport bros, they're turning on each other quickly. There's only a few of these people left. This is one of the reasons why I'm sitting back and watching these people. It's fun being, it's more fun now being a commenter and a It's more fun now being a commenter and a person who's sitting in the audience than somebody on stage and being a content creator, because a lot of these people are crashing out. A lot of these people are just folding because I love it. I'm looking at videos that I made years ago that I have to rebuild. I have to re-download those. And I was right about a whole bunch of shit, and a whole bunch of people just turned to be fucking phony, and they turned on each other. And a lot of these people, I would make a whole list if I could find every one of these people names. These people, all these people who was talking against the manosphere, you should see how irrelevant a lot of the people who now talk about the manosphere, talked about MGTOW, how irrelevant these people are now. The news, the article people that write the articles against passport bros, what they're doing now. Whoo, man. They have turned on each other. They have ate each other alive. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful.
I should not be seen with my BBL girlfriend and drinking. I treat all my secrets. Yeah, she know all my secrets. I will not throw her on the bar. That's right, little, they all rats. And I'm like, girl, I'm the one that can ruin you, and I did. Boom, headshot. I did. I leaked everything.
Now, this is the crazy thing about it. Like, I don't be on this side. I don't really care about these people, really, seriously. But I don't know the YouTube analytic guides. Every time I've researched these people, maybe they know that I used to do PI work or something. Every time I research these people, I always go right back. I always go to these people who hate the manosphere, and they always connected to each other. They all got the same shit. If one person make a video, 5 of these goofballs make videos of the same shit to have their opinion. They're leeches of each other. They're hive mind thinking. They don't think for themselves.
What you have done here will never be.
And now she making Dookie the Don look stupid, because guess what? Just like we said, she was a escort. Now she done came out and said, well, the rig is up, the roost is up. I'm going to go ahead and get on my daggone OF and make that money.
See? Now she talking about the fresh situation, the fresh and fit situation, right? She talking about the fresh and fit situation where the girl was lying on the lawn. She played the shit out of ABBA and Pre. She played the shit out of all these people. And she was an escort. And everybody thought that was a L on him. But it was L on everybody else because they was believing what she was saying. And guess what? He's still surviving. Even though he's a clown. And I think he in another situation with another girl again. So,
honey, gonna make that money, honey. I go have OF now. Come to my iPhone. And 39. Didn't know that, TJ. Really? Oh, I told you that I don't like Lauren D. Herpes. I can't stand that heifer. Lauren D. Herpes says some very messed up things about another person that I have. I don't share with everybody and their mama. It's a small knit IRL group of people. But he's so based. And that little boy, that's not the same for, okay. Oh, damn film stuff. You couldn't even make a video about it because you couldn't. When I worry about women, keep forgetting Abbas Tamu American. Yes, Abbas Tamu American. But at least he over here on this time zone. This heifer is on another damn time zone. chilled in Croatia somewhere. Like, what? Sounds to me she miserable too.
Close. That's why I'm annoyed with these people on the internet, because the audience thinks we're close. They play it like we're close. I'm sorry. You don't even know me. Maybe you guys are close to each other, but y'all ain't close to me.
Hold on, am I missing something? Since when? Okay. Granted, I don't watch her content like that. I do watch Abba and Preach, but I don't watch all their videos.
Now, mind you, Abba and Preach made a video against Red Pill, a stupid ass song, and they tried to push this song and said it's a banger, it's a hit, and the shit flopped, and nobody cared about it after they tried to gas it up. I don't make videos like I used to. But if I would have made a video during that time, I'm like, okay, let's see how long this that. Like the single mom video with the Brandon dude, and which I'll probably get to him sooner or later. Buddy turned against the Manosphere, but had Manosphere and Red Pill talking points, and he just showed himself to be a feminine dude who is off the back of the Red Pill, but just say he's not Red Pill, right? And basically, he got attacked by his cousin, like, I think this, like, a couple days ago.
As a matter of fact, they had a video, I'll probably watch that tomorrow, called the Guru's Lying to You something. I think they're going to talk about Liz, the wizard Liz again. I'm going to watch that, but I got to watch Sean's video first. So I'm a little behind on videos, but I watch way more Alba than I would. Only time I'm watching her is a hate watcher.
And you keep dragging me into your beef like we're close. And then when I call it the abuse, you're like, I can't believe my friend did this to me. We're not close.
Okay, I don't even believe none of this happened. Hold on. I am not no Alba nut swinger, but
yeah, you are an ABBA nut swinger, because when they made a song about the Red Pill, you're here, right here. You all you do is go after Fresh and Fit and the Red Pill. That's all. Here, go right here. You are a nut watcher. Reacted to Abba and Priest's new song about Red Pill, and she act like she liked it. Everybody act like they liked it because it was anti-Red Pill, and it didn't garner shit. Nobody's putting them on, giving them Grammys, nothing.
Does this sound like Abba wastes his time talking about something? Oh, I thought me and Brittany. Abba don't appear to me. I could be wrong.
Yeah, mind you, Abba and Brittany was hanging out, and I'm showing you that right now. This is how I'm leading into this. I didn't know about this. This is me and you reacting to it.
Abba doesn't appear to me the kind of person that will get close to you like that. He understands.
Abba tried to use so many people against the Red Pill and the Manosphere. And he started hanging out with Brittany. I'll show you the many videos he's hanging out with Brittany. And he hanged out with Destiny. And the reason why he hanged out with Destiny, because Destiny was going against the Manosphere. Remember, it was a big deal like 3-4 years ago when Abba was dancing with his ex-wife, Destiny's ex-wife. Right? And everybody said how he got cuffed and everything else, right?
And that it's a business.
And mind you, the reason why Abba and Priest went down the Red Pill, hating Red Pill, is because they couldn't do Jubilee videos no more. They couldn't do anti-Jubilee videos. I mean, they couldn't do Jubilees. They couldn't react to Jubilee videos no more, because Jubilee told them that if you're going to make videos from us, you're going to have to give us a cut or stop using our videos.
He doesn't. Abba does not appear to be the kind of person not as sexually active as gay men. So that's the.
In Brawl Stars, you can be a katana-wielding sushi chef. In the real world,
As you wasn't no damn film star, you couldn't even make a video about it because you couldn't stand her enough to finish. Yeah, I couldn't finish the video, but I did start the video. I couldn't finish the video because it was like, are you serious?
See, I hate these commentary channels. I'm sorry you got to deal with this, but she does the rambling, and she's a doxer. She's an online doxer, by the way. Nobody tried to take her down or nothing like that. I don't know why, but she picks the targets, right? Like I said, this is all functional for Scott Galloway, right? The grifters, the going against. When you talk about a male crisis, you have to talk about everybody who's a part of it. You can't talk about a war that go on, and you can't talk about the battles. You can't talk about the campaigns. You can't talk about the campaigns that were run. You can't talk about the small battles and skirmishes. You can't talk about the people that's a part of the war either. You can't just say, hey man, there's a male loneliness. You got to point out every single body that are a part of this situation, and I'm showing you who are all a part of it, right? Scott Galloway is just the chosen grifter to try to make money off of men, to try to be a thought leader.
You kept making all these videos about I'm a femcel. I am a femcel. No, it's not. You're not a femcel. By the way, femcels don't exist. There's no such thing as a femcel. Femcels don't exist. I don't care if you 800 pounds. I don't care if you're bald-headed. I don't care if you got 40 kids that came out your coochie. You are never a femcel. You are never, ever, ever, ever a femcel.
See? This fucking idiot don't even know that she's actually proved the red pill the point, right? Everybody understands that femcel shit is fucking phony and fake. Every girl at the micro level, every girl, even the unattractive one, could still get a guy to stick their penis in them. But it's not like that for men. Men live in reality. Women live in fantasy.
Femcels don't exist. They just don't. They don't. I'm sorry, they don't. Incels exist. Absolutely, incel exists. Not even you're a lesbian. There's no such thing as a lesbian femcel. Okay, femcels go only to heterosexual women. Okay, so that's different. We're only talking about heterosexual relationships. So that only a femcel. We're only talking about a femcel in a heterosexual. So if you're a lesbian and you are not having any kind of sex, then that's understandable. Because I know a lot of lesbians that are in sexless situations, but you know that's not the same for. Okay. Oh, hold on, Magda. Hold on. I can make it. I can actually. When it comes to homosexuality, you know how there's no such thing as a lesbian femcel. Okay, because it's heterosexual. There's no such thing as a gay virgin.
Boom! Headshot!
Who is my favorite Senator Lindsey Graham? A happy birthday.
Every specialty pizza is just $9.99 when I mix and match?
Yep. Treat yourself. The People's Pizza?
Privating his video because Ethan threatened him. Because Ethan is that kind of person.
So? And
I'm saying, I want to talk about y'all, but I don't want to be with y'all. I want to talk about it. I don't want to get involved in it. With peace and love. I think I'm really trying to do stuff out here, okay? You know?
I'm better than you. I am the female Jesus.
So basically, she doesn't want to get that because like nowadays now what's going on right now is that there's a lot of YouTube content creators that are getting sued left and right. right? Because they're lying on people. But people don't even understand that MGTOW won most of their cases. One of the reasons why MGTOW is not a thing anymore, and it went back underground, is because most of the MGTOW channels won their cases against Fox News, against all the news media, against YouTube itself too, for taking their videos down, and the channels, multiple channels. Even they admitted that they were doing this shit during Biden administration. And, you know, one political person who isn't going to admit that YouTube was taking down videos during the COVID times, you know, he's going to keep spouting bullshit out. But the thing is, a lot of people are now wary that if you said a wrong thing to somebody, you lie on somebody, you're going to get your ass whipped in court. There's a lawsuit going on in the gaming space of a content creator who made videos about Dying Light, and another big content creator. They going to court. The dude Ethan Klein, H3, he suing 3 content creators for copyright infringement and shit. There's the lawsuit with Meg Thee Stallion and another person. There's another lawsuit that happened. I forgot which one. There's a whole bunch of lawsuits now. The internet lawsuits. People are not playing games out here no more. They're not playing games with these content creators no more. And you're not invincible no more.
You guys are sinners, but I am the supreme anointed one.
I think in 20 years will have something really productive to show. But for now,
you won't. No, you
just
won't.
think of me
Girl, you're not even going to be still married to the same man. I see divorce on the horizon for your ass, and you're going to turn that into a series of hatred. Let me tell you, I was in another bubble, and I thought that I could be the wife that he could, but then I realized after paying all the bills and basically making, like, cleaning the house and making all the dinner and, like, really being responsible for everything, and all he does is just lay up and watch TV, and I realized that I started to resent him, and even though I asked him to marry me, I'm just thinking, like, well, I can also ask him to divorce me. And so in this bubble, I'm back over to America from Croatia.
The girly doing research and having like an interest in this bubble. But I'm not here to be a part of I don't want to be a player, you know? And then somehow people like drag me in. But then see how Destiny blamed me? Lindsay blamed me. And I'm like, are none of you going to hold yourselves accountable? I am a nobody. I'm just...
You don't hold yourself accountable. I agree they should.
Now, mind you, this is the same person who was making videos on the red pill. She was making videos with Destiny, saying Destiny was right about the red pill. But then basically a couple years later, she admits that she's a nobody.
They shouldn't hold you accountable, but you don't hold yourself accountable.
Because I'm a nobody, I think it's easy for people to be like, you needed Destiny to build your career. I had a whole career. I literally...
No, you didn't. Most of your highest videos were talking about the Manosphere and with Destiny in it. You use Destiny just like I've been preached, just like this T chick. Y'all use Destiny against the Manosphere, and that turned out to be false. That's the reason why you don't have Destiny in your comment sections, because he's radioactive now. That's the reason why ABBA ditched him. This is why you ditched him. This is why this T girl ditched him. This is the reason why. Your red pill weapon, the red pill weapons, end up being duller than a butter knife.
I was a full-time content creator before I met him. You know what I mean? You know? Chad says, and you're disappointed in ABBA? It took the girls coming forward publicly to believe Destiny was toxic because he didn't believe you. Hey?
What do you have done here? I'll never be forgiven.
No, what you're missing from this conversation, but let me show you ABBA's videos to get an idea. Because
here she is right here, 3 years ago. Destiny IRL with ABBA and Priest and Mel. Here we go, 2 years ago. Here we go, another video with them together, 3 years ago. She was a collab. She collabed with them. There we go again. There we go. There we go. Look. Here we go. Now, let me break this down.
I'll tell you a story.
Let me show you. Her highest videos, her most popular videos, are about Destiny, here we go, the misogyny. Whoa, she took them down. Wow. She took videos down with Destiny. Oh, wow. I remember her videos literally talking about Destiny and jumping on his nuts like that.
This conversation, but let me show you Abba's videos to get an idea, because it's like the I'm allowed to be disappointed in people. I'm disappointed in politicians all the time. I'm disappointed in neighbors.
So what? Does that make her special? We all get disappointed. Listen.
Check everyone off your list at Nordstrom Rack. The biggest...
Wait until I get to CJ the X and FD Signifier, who I love. Well, I love FD. Wait until I get into that. Not that I'm going to have receipts on them, but I'm going to have a point I'm going to make with them wanting to build a bridge with Kyla, who still won't refuse to stand with Destiny. We'll talk about that.
So here's it. So she's going to call out fat boy FD Signifier. She's like, FD Signifier, we're not friends because you want to be friends with somebody who's friends with Destiny. Girl. Petty. I cannot believe. Yeah, like there's. If you want to know which side has the most rules, it is the left side. They got the people with those in groups, and they got all these rules you got to follow.
See, even she broke it down that her side has too many rules. You can't be friends with certain people. You have to do this, but that's her side. She's on the same side. That's why people don't like being around these people. Because their alliances is not built off real strong bonds. It's built off paper thin cotton. That even one little any weight goes in it tears apart.
Or else they're going to kick you off the club.
Wing it. Every time Abba and I would talk, I would really try to see him where he was coming from and give him his flowers. But we obviously disagreed. It was like I was the progressive in the bubble that nobody treated like a progressive. And then I realized it's like, oh, because you guys aren't progressive. I knew Abba wasn't progressive.
Yeah, I'm like, what made you think Abba was progressive?
Abba's pushing it in his videos that he's progressive. I mean, his whole point of going against the King dude and going against people who cried for Charlie Kirk and all that shit is pretty much showing that he's the quote-unquote progressive guy. Talking about racism and all this other shit. His whole new videos are about picking on two particular people and farming them. And now other people are starting to see who the fuck these people are. That's why they're losing a lot of views. But they're not losing that many views because, you know, some of the fans like to go and watch certain people still again.
He would do is when he would film intimate moments with these ladies, record them, he would share some of these with other women he was approaching. In one case, he shared it with a 19-year-old e-girl who he had never met in his life, and he was flirting with her and shared videos of himself sleeping with another person without their consent. Essentially, the 19-year-old gets hacked, and that stuff goes public. The person who was in the videos finds out, loses their mind, files a lawsuit asking Destiny for a lot of huge...
Black people talk with their hands. So, once again, and these people...
Our coworker is a predator. And you are downplaying it? I had no idea.
How did he downplay it? He literally called them out in that video. He He literally called him out in that video.
Now, mind you, a lot of these people kind of push themselves into that, the dude King, the, what's it called, King, the guy that Abba and Preach used to go. I mean, he used to copy off of Abba and Preach, and then until Abba and Preach turned on him, these anti-red pill guys, they don't have any water. They hate each other more than they hate you. They just use you so they don't hate each other. But once they get bored of you, they start fighting each other.
You played the part where he called him out. Finish last.
What the hell?
Anyway, now I'm mad at Alba. I'm mad at Alba now. Destiny out? That's when I found out I was blocked. Not blocked. Yeah. You can block numbers. Right? So I called her. She blocked me. So I was like, okay, the trash took itself out. And guess what? I went on about my business. I didn't ponder why she did that. I'm going to assume that Abba is left-leaning because he's a Canadian, but I don't know anything else. There's nothing else that gives me right wing, but I don't see what's wrong
where I am. So my question for Scott is, as women continue to level up more and more, why do you think that we can't find as many men that are willing to meet us there?
Risotto! Welcome to make her feel safe, but somehow this is framed as a male failure. Pay very close attention to what Scott advises men about rejection.
If you want to hang out with someone higher character than you and better looking than you, quite frankly, get ready to eat shit, because it involves rejection over and over and over. Nothing wonderful will happen to you without...
So, I'm not going to reiterate this video, because I spent too much time basically showing the infighting between the anti-red pill guys and where Scott is in that position. But if you want to see a video about Scott Galloway being exposed, go to Manosphere Daily. He has a good breakdown of him. So you have to look at, this is 2 years ago. Here we go.
I'm a Philly sports guy. Do I have a favorite team? You know I do. But I'm still not going to tell. Around here...
This all has knock-on effects for women. And I think the data is also suggesting that the crisis amongst men is causing, in many situations, a crisis for women as well. Because we both, men and women exist in an ecosystem that needs to be somewhat balanced. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to talk about the impact this is having, but now the generation...
I'm sure this happens to you all the time. Really interesting, high character, successful, attractive women, usually in their 30s, sometimes in their 40s, who will say, I can't find anyone to date. And it's not that they can't find anyone to date, it's that they can't find anyone they want to date. And there's some dynamic.
So mind you, this is 2 years ago. He was talking different 2 years ago. This is him 2 years ago talking about this. This is before his book. This is 2 years ago. But he's saying something different, 2 years later?
Dynamics here. The first is...
Can I just interject to validate your point there? She also said to me, I'm not willing to drop my standards.
Well, and it's like Warren Buffett said, the key to a healthy marriage is low expectations. What's happening is, and I think his name's Chris Williams. He kind of reminds me of you. He's this handsome young podcaster who's blowing by all us old guys. You know Chris?
Yeah, I know Chris.
Anyways, he does a fantastic job, and I've learned a lot from him. But he calls it the high heels effect. And that is, every year for the last 50 years, women have become better educated and they're making more money. In urban centers, they've now, under the age of 30, blown by. They're now making more money. More single women in the U.S. own houses than single men. They're getting taller every year. And the reason you...
That's bullshit. he said this in the Oprah interview, said that women are getting taller every year. What, wearing high heels? If you actually put them close together, a barefooted man and a barefooted woman, you'll see that they're pretty much either the same height or even taller, 2 inches or 3 inches taller. So he's putting this bullshit out right now, and he's putting his bullshit out right there.
His height is that 50% of women say they won't date a guy shorter than them. It's probably more like 80%. And even if they're not.
He said the same shit in Oprah. So he's recycling the same shit over and over again. Mind you, this is 2023. He's saying this in 2023. He said this in 2025. Anyone see how much of a clown he is?
Cognizant of it, just anthropologically, subconsciously, they're just usually not attracted to men shorter than them because they have something telling them that this individual is less likely to be able to physically protect you. So,
mind you, there was men out there in the medieval days and older than that, literally those in the days, most men wasn't tall. Even in the midst of war, most of those, there was a small bit of men that were tall. So basically, you're saying that dumb shit, but there's countries where the men are small, and they're way more violent than the tall men here. Way more violent.
You're just at a disadvantage from a height standpoint. Now, metaphorically, women are getting taller every year, and men are getting shorter, right? Men mate socioeconomically horizontally and down, women horizontally and up. But when the pool of men who are socioeconomically senior to women, it just means that the quote-unquote pool of viable mates for women is going down every year. And women have been told they can have it all. And what I found is you can't have it all. Or let me put it this way. You can have it all, you just can't have it all at once. And that to focus on their careers, which, by the way, I think is a good thing. I think economic viability is just super important.
Now, mind you, this fool is never going to talk about statistics in Japan. Japan already went through this. There's a reason why they have a crisis over there in Japan right now. It's because the women were making more money to go into college. And then they found out that all of the women, when they got older, they were giving all this extra stuff and help to be better than the men, while the men had to work real hard. So most of the men wouldn't see it worth to get married to somebody who was pushed beyond what they could do. So the men was like, no, I don't want to marry an older woman in Japan. And they found out that a lot of the older women, they reach a certain age and then they will walk out of a company or walk away from high positions and leave it unfulfilled. So the society build up women up over the guy, but most of the men will stay in those positions for more than 20, 30, 40 years, while the women will only stay in those positions for 20 years until she get there and she want to retire.
For everyone, including women. But the reality is, as they have gotten taller, men have gotten shorter, so there's just less pairing. Society has a tendency to evaluate a woman's success through the lens of her romantic success. Not as much for men. People look at you and think, and I don't know your relationship status, but people look at you like, guy who's killing it. He's killing it, and he's single. Oh my God, it's good to be Stephen Bartlett. A woman in her 30s who's killing a professional is alone. It's like super successful, but... Your single status is a feature. For women, it's seen as a bug. And you both might be just as lonely. But or you might be engaging in, and I'm projecting here, I have no idea what your situation is here. But there's this dynamic where the men who are in the top 10% can engage in Porsche polygamy. And that is women with online dating now believe, there's something wrong with this, that, and I'm going to be, this is going to get me in trouble, but let's rate everybody. Most people will acknowledge that some people are more attractive than others, and they find certain people less and more attractive. A woman of average attractiveness can have a relationship, and when I say relationship, that's code for sex, with someone who's in the top 10%. But that individual is probably not going to establish a long-term relationship. And because
Uber Eats is bringing you savings on your favorite game day snacks. Like right now, score 40% off.
Who, quite frankly, are just lonely. But men is more risk aggressive. You know, that's really important. And pushing the boundaries of what can be done. And then another person who's more practical.
You said the most dangerous person in the world is a man who's broken and alone. What do you mean by that?
Well, first off, let me just acknowledge, I had shudders go down my
2022. He's been trying to do this shit for years. He's been trying to do this for years. This is 2022. This is during the pandemic. So he try to benefit off of being men lonely, because 2021, 2022, we were still under pandemic stuff. Things wasn't fully open until 2023. Then 2024. Everybody still had the little rules and everything else until 2023, near the end of 2020, in the middle of 2023.
Fine, when I saw that my book was coming out the same book as Richard's book. I think that guy is amazing. And
He's a beast.
And I have been feeling and seeing this notion of how poorly young men are doing. I just can see it in my friends with their sons. I have friends who have 2 daughters and a son. And I'm saying this metaphorically, but loosely speaking, and understandably, they're going to champion little girls who they see themselves in. So young men just have...
What we have right now is there's fewer and fewer men that are hypergamous mates for women. So if there's a much smaller pool of guys, then what you have is you have a bunch of women competing for the same men, and then a bunch of guys get ignored. But what I also see is that those top guys are having a hard time deciding. So I feel like in my coaching practice as a dating coach, I'm working with a lot of women who say, what do I do? I've changed my profile the way you said I should. I took your class, but I still feel like there's just not enough great guys. And then I work with these CEO men who are having such a hard time choosing. And so I think we really have this exacerbated problem where so many women are asking men to be more emotionally open, but then they get shamed when they do that.
So, again, I'm at the finalness of the video about Scott Galloway, but as you see, he was putting this shit out there for about 3-4 years, right? Maybe 4 years, right? 2003, 4, 5, 3 years. 3 years total. Maybe 4 years. Let's give it 4. He was trying to promote this shit, trying to be a thought leader, because his money was going down, and maybe the investment, if you try to follow what these guys are, like Jordan Peterson or whatever, his investment was probably into establishments that men spend more money on women than women spend money on men. I asked this question to everybody, and nobody can ever give me an answer. I said, what industry where women help men become successful, or what industry that women financially support men? And they're like, what you mean by that? I'm like, well, there's industries that men support all the time to fund women. The porn industry, the dating industry, the restaurant industry, groceries, all this other stuff, makeup, all this other crap. There's businesses that are made just for women, there's businesses made for men, and there's businesses made for dating. So where is the business where women help men become successful? And the answer is nothing. Men fund other men. Women don't fund us. Women don't help us. I don't even remember the last time. I never had a female supporter support me financially. They come on my comment sections and they say crazy stuff or say some crazy stuff or whatever, but they never really financially supported me because I don't say what they want me to say, right? I don't tell them what they want to hear. But at the same time, all of the fake chicks who say they support men, you don't see them going down to giving guys like $20 to support them, right? Content creators and lower content creators, they don't do that. I have supported a lot of people, and people supported me too. But women don't support men overall. No one asking you to sleep with guys, but if you making more money than men, you could at least bring some of that money to some guys to help them out. But that doesn't happen. So this is why I know that a lot of these women who say they care about men are full of shit. Same thing with a lot of the so-called men who pretend that they care about space and all this other stuff. Like I said, I saw a mountain of stuff of these people doing things and they end up faltering. Okay.